We are live. Welcome, Giants. My name is Joe Perrone, and this is the Freedom Hour on Wake Up with Giants Network. I am an entrepreneur and a strategist, and I help business owners and professionals design the life of their dreams. The show is designed to help you overcome the biggest roadblocks to your dream life. It will require you to examine your life deeper, find those gifts you were given at birth, discover your strength, your clarity, and purpose. You will discover freedom. Reminder to subscribe on YouTube. We have a great network of professionals in this group. And today on the Freedom Hour, I am so honored to have radio personality John Cadillac Saville.
Who?
John has his own entertainment business, John Saville Entertainment. He's also a health and wellness coach. He's a mentor and a self-described, you said it, John, not me, gym freak. He's in the gym every day of the week.
Absolutely.
John is all about the mind, the body, and the spirit. And we'll talk today about how tapping into all of these passions help him serve others and create his optimal lifestyle. John, welcome to the show.
So Joe, it's good to be here, buddy. Really
grateful and blessed to have you on, my friend.
And I thank your Uncle Tom for making the introduction. You know, he has led me to so many amazing, like-minded people like yourself, and it's really enriched my life in so many ways. So thank you.
Yeah, grateful for Tom Perrone for setting this up and reaching out and connecting the two of us. And now we're unstoppable, John.
Oh, the world. I don't know. Can the world handle it? You know?
Yeah, I just love who you are and who you be in the world. And I always ask the first question, John, what's freedom to you, my friend?
Freedom to me is just to be able to get up and be able to do what you want to do, each and every day. I mean, obviously we have the constraints of work and things that we need to do, but, to be able to get up and just be able to make a difference, the freedom to be able to love, the freedom to be able to choose what you want to do for a living if you're so lucky. I think about, what I've been doing all my life. Haven't worked a day in my life, I feel, in so many ways. I knew from a young age I wanted to be in the radio broadcasting business, and ever since junior high school and high school. And to me, that's been very freeing. So freedom, I know, is different for each and every individual you talk to, but just the freedom to be able to get up and go out there and just be good to people, go out to the world and be good to people. It's a choice. It really is a choice. But too many times I think we take freedom for granted. There's a lot of countries that would, even with the challenges we have now, they would swap with us in a heartbeat. So we really are so blessed. But I just love the freedom I have, especially to be able to worship, who I want to worship. You and I talk a lot about that. We're not afraid to talk about our faith, Joe. And I always keep God first place. And whenever I do that, it's amazing how so much goes better in my life. It becomes easier when I let him be the captain.
Amen to that, John. And, that's one of the things that we connected on first and foremost was the faith and the faith that we share. And, you said it so brilliantly, we get up and have this life, and the gratitude that I see that you put out in the world daily. And I know that you right on your website, it says, wake up every day and just am in gratitude. And we need to be grateful for all the things that we have and grateful for the country that we live in. And I just wanted to ask you, when did that all start for you? When did you really lock into that attitude of gratitude that you just have really built and just amazing for you to share that?
I've been very blessed to have, just a wonderful mom and dad who just really poured their love into me. And they couldn't have been two different people, mom and dad, but I love them, both. I'm much more like my mom. My mom, passed away back in September. My best friend growing up, my role model. But I think, she always taught me just to be good to people and see see the best in people, see the best in life. And that's my nature, Joe. It always has been. But I've always had an innate belief in people and an innate belief in goodness. I believe that people are good by nature. Sometimes they listen to a different voice, but I think we're created good by nature. And so you realize when you go out there and you're good to people respond in kind. 95, 98% of the time. And if they don't, that's on them. That's not on you. You just go out there. You can't be responsible how people respond to you, but you can go out there and just be a good person. So when you put your head in the pillow at night, that's freedom. That's freeing. Know that your motive and intent was to bless people each and every day. And you look for those opportunities to do that, because so many people are hurting right now, especially nowadays. You know, there's just so much fear and anxiety. So if you can go out there and just, pat somebody in the back, give them a fist up, buy them a cup of coffee, just say something kind, but be genuine about it. It's amazing. You can just change it, and it becomes a domino effect. They end up doing that for somebody else, somebody else. So, and a mentor of mine told me a long time ago that gratitude is riches, complaint is poverty. And I never forgot that. I mean, we're going to complain as human beings. I'm guilty of that. I complain. I screw up each and every day multiple times, but I know I'm forgiven. I know I'm already approved by the one who made me. So I know that no matter what happens, I'm approved. I'm anointed. And I'm going to forgive myself. I mean, you really need to be on your own side. There's enough of the world out there that's against you. You got to be your biggest cheerleader. You got to like who you are.
You do have to like who you are, John. And I agree with you. And you see what difference it makes when you lead with kindness and when you lead with gratitude, and as simple as a smile.
Yes, exactly.
Kindness and buying a cup of coffee or saying good morning. I had to go to Big Y down the street from me the other morning to get my wife some coffee creamer. Mama's got to have her coffee creamer.
Oh, gotta take care of Mama.
And I was so happy to walk into the store and first of all see the abundance in the store. And then as people were unloading the shelves, I made sure I walked by and I said good morning to each and every one of those people, made sure that they had the smile come from me. If nobody else was going to smile or pass them by today, it was going to be me. And that's something that when I get up in the morning and I check social media and I see John Cadillac Saville, you're one of those people that are always saying that first thing and starting that day and reminding people to start your day on that foot. So that post that you make gets to one person. It gets to a lot of people, but it gets to this one person. And now I go out in the world and I do that. Now maybe that produce guy is somebody asks him for something, and if he was having a grumpy day, he might say, we're all out.
Right.
But if he's operating out of that kindness and gratitude, now he's going out of his way for a customer, and that might make the difference in their day. That chain reaction you're talking about.
Exactly. It's the compound effect.
Powerful.
Yeah, it's a book I read, the compound effect, just by going out there and just being good to people, and just like, the domino compound effect, and letting people know they're appreciated. There's nothing that drives me crazier than if I see somebody going to a restaurant or they're going to a coffee shop and they say, give me a coffee. I'll take a cup of coffee. What about please? Or thank you. That's always been a pet peeve of mine. Just say please, thank you, I appreciate you. I don't think people ever get tired of hearing that. And they don't hear it enough. I was talking to a guy at the gym today when I was on the leg machine. He said, John, it drives me crazy. Everybody's looking in their cell phone. Or they have the earbuds on. There's nothing wrong with listening to the music. I get that at the gym, but I purposely don't have those on because I want to talk to people. I want to look them in the eye and say hello and have a conversation. Ask them about their day. Get to know what they do for a living. Just make a friend without being invasive. Just small talk. And a lot of times it leads to friendships. And we can always gain a new friend, can't we?
We could always gain a new friend. And as we meet people, we meet like-minded people, that's how we connected.
Right.
It's so powerful because it's those eagles that you fly with. And too many people are hanging out with the turkeys that want
the chickens,
complain, but we fly at a different altitude, and all the things that you mentioned, John, they don't cost a dime.
No, they don't.
It's an investment of your time and your energy and the decision that you make to be in gratitude, be the one that starts the conversation, be the one that smiles, that's the one.
Right. You have to be intentional. Each and every day you wake up, it has to be intentional. And that's another thing I do, speaking of gratitude, before I wake up each and every day, I just, do 10, 15, 20 minutes of gratitude exercises. And it gives me the mental armor I need to be able to handle the day. I don't want to be able to get up first thing in the morning, put the news on, and let that dictate my mood, dictate my day, or check emails right away and have random thoughts come into my head. I want to be able to be in control of that. So I'm able to do my gratitude exercises, thank God for my many, many blessings, and then when I'm up and I have my cup of coffee, then I can handle anything that comes my way because now I'm already got the protection I need, that armor, his shield of protection, so to speak. And then you're able to take on the day because you really control your day within the first 10 or 15 minutes of when you wake up, what you do at that time. And if you're really in a rush, you have to get to a job at a certain time, wake up 15 minutes earlier and spend time doing gratitude. I mean, I say I spend a lot of time with God, but whether you believe in God or not, whatever you pray to, whatever, just be grateful. Just be grateful about that. But I think, gratitude is everything. Everything. It sets a whole tone for your day. You can choose to be happy or you can choose to be miserable. I choose happiness.
You do choose happiness,
Yeah.
John, and you spread it wherever you go. And you talked about the gym. You're a gym freak. You said it, not I didn't say it. You said it.
Guilty as charged, baby. I love it.
And tell us more about that journey. You've been involved in bodybuilding and you work on your body. I mean, you're a very fit individual. Tell us more about that and how that mind, body, and spirit all interconnects, and what can we learn from you about that today?
That's a great point there, Joe, because the thing is everything has to be in concert with each other. It's like a three-legged table. Three-legged table doesn't work so well. You got to have everything in concert with each other, or if one leg is missing, it falls over, right? So, spirit, is the most important to me, and then, mind, body. But, to be able to take care of the temple that we've been given is so, so important. But I treat the gym like a business appointment. It's non-negotiable. I've got to go there. I have like these stick-up notes on my counter, which drives my wife crazy. And I have them there, and I always have like, workout, blah, blah, blah. And then I have like my A list, a B list, and a C list. B, if I don't get to it today, maybe the next day or two. C, maybe if I get to it at all, it's okay. But A list has to be done. And of course, that includes my prayer in the morning, my gratitude exercises, my nutrition, getting to the gym, and of course, the things I need to get through the day. But going to the gym just sets the whole tone in the morning. Once I wake up, I love it. It's a positive environment. I would say if the world was run more like a gym, we'd be in much better shape. I mean, everything, even, whatever it may be going on in the world, because nobody cares about, what you do for a living. They don't know, there's no status thing because everybody has shorts and t-shirts on. You don't know what they do. We're all the same. Whether you're black, white, Hispanic, it doesn't make any difference. We're all there to better ourselves and feel good about our bodies, feel good about it makes us become better spouses, parents, employees, employers. When we're in good shape, we feel good about ourselves. And that's what I love about the gym. It's just like a melting pot of all people. And we're there just to make our feel good, become healthier. And you don't have any of the baggage that happens when you go out into the real world. And you know exactly what I'm talking about with that. So it's so important. But, 5, 6, 7 days a week, I'm at the gym. And nutrition, we're like 80% on it. My wife and I are health and wellness coaches. We help people make better decisions with their food choices. We have a shopping club business, a Green Bay shopping club business, which does very well for us. And we've helped so many people with that, eco-friendly. So we want to live by example. And it's like anything else. If you're going to be a health and wellness coach, you better darn well look the part and do it. Because I remember those gym teachers in high school, right, Joe, when they used to have to go out there and run laps. And they look like they should be the ones running the laps, right? Or how many times have you gone to a doctor and they tell you got to lose a little bit of weight, and the doctor there is, so you better if you're going to say it, you better look the part at least.
Yeah, I always say, don't trust a sick doctor, an out of shape health coach,
right,
or a broke business coach.
That's right. And you know
that clear.
I mean, you have to lead by example. You have to go out there and lead by example. And if somebody's sitting right across from you, you know how we are. But we try not to be judgmental in life. But people do make up their mind about you sometimes within the first 15, 20 seconds. Your eye contact, the way you look at them, how you respond. Are you actually listening to what they're saying? And that's the whole point. People just want to make sure, people want to be listened to. There's nothing worse than somebody saying, "Hey, Joe, how are you today?" They don't let you respond and they start talking again. Let the person respond and get to know them, and then you learn so much more about them. But, and that's what my wife and I do. We have our consultations. We chat with them, half hour, 45 minutes. They're talking for a half hour, but at least we're there to get information. We want them to feel that it's a safe place and we can help them. But it's about their needs, not ours. How can we best help you? And we want to gain their trust.
And as you help these people along this journey with their wellness and their health, tell us more about that. I love that piece of your business because you're so passionate about health and wellness. You post pictures all the time of clean eating, and I just love that. And it inspires me, and I know it
Mhm.
inspires so many people. But talk to us a little bit more about that, the business that you guys are in, and tell us more about how you're changing lives.
Sure, sure. My wife and I have like I said, a green-based shopping club business. And the company's been around for about 35 years now. First eco-friendly green-based company in the USA. Got their start back then, privately held, debt-free. And we're marketing agents for the company, regional directors for the company. So we basically help people set up shopping accounts, everything safer, healthier, American-made, shipped right to your front door like a pea pod. And Amazon kind of based their model on our company. We don't advertise. It's all based on word of mouth, so we're able to keep the prices down. They're competitive or lower than grocery store prices. No supply chain issues at all. And everything is made right here in the USA. And 90-day empty bottle, empty box money back guarantee, so nobody ever gets burned. So we felt really good that our reputations would never be tarnished in the marketplace. Like you, I'm so involved in, networking groups, in Rotary clubs. I've been in JCs in the past, and I do a ton of community events. I know that with the business Patty and I are in, we're helping hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people every month. And even if people decide not to continue with us for whatever reason down the line, they know that they really can't say anything negative about it because everything we're doing is right, just. Our motive and intent is to help people. And if people choose not to continue or choose not to do business with us, that's their right. People have the right to say yes or no. And they're not going to be badgered. And we don't lose friends. That's the whole key. My DJ business, same thing. There's a lot of people that choose not to hire our DJ business for whatever reason, even though we do extremely well with that. But I still love them. It's their choice to be able to go with someone else. And plus, I believe there's enough work for all of us. You know that as a business person, Joe. There's enough. If it's meant to be, it's going to be, right? If it's not meant to be, it's going to bless another family. Other people have to pay their bills. They've got kids. They've got a mortgage to pay for. So if I didn't get the gig or the customer, somebody else is going to get it. God bless them. I have someone else coming my way who's I'm going to be more of a fit with. So you really have to live that abundant mindset that not everything's going to be, not every customer is going to shop with me. Not every person's going to book my DJ company. Not everybody's going to listen to me on a specific radio station. That's okay. That's their choice. Doesn't make them bad people, That's their choice. And I think that's really important to keep that mindset and get your ego out of the way.
It sure is, and I'll transition what you just said into a famous Garth Brooks song, "Unanswered Prayers."
Uh,
Sometimes the best things in life are those unanswered prayers because it could be the client that you didn't want anyways. It just wasn't a good fit. Oh, John, did I strike a nerve there?
oh yeah, we've done that. I've been to a point where I know I talked to a real estate person the other day, and they said they fired their client.
You fired your client,
Right? They said, I don't need to deal with that, right? But it did it in a very positive way. It was a
of
joke
course.
between us. But you're right, and the thing is, you want to be able to have the right match. And if you try to force it, it's like trying to force things out of God's time. It just may not feel right. It just feels like you're going like a salmon going up against the current, so to speak, right? And it shouldn't have to be that way. There should be an ease, to it if it's right. And I've had people on the phone with me, and I have several DJs in my company. I have 6 guys; they're fantastic. But I've talked to people before, and I didn't really think it was a fit. And I would just say, maybe this isn't a fit, for you guys. But man, I wish you well. I know somebody else who might be a better fit for you, and they respect that because if you don't, if there's something there, you come up with a solution, or one of my guys might be a better fit for what you're looking for. Like me, for instance, at this stage, I know what I'm really good at, and that's what I focus on. But if somebody wants to do karaoke or something, that's not normally something I do, even though I could do it and do it well. But I have a couple people in my business who would love to do that. So I said, maybe they'll be a better fit for you. It's got to be about their needs and putting the right people. And then when they hang up the phone, they feel good about you, that you're not trying to sell them on something they don't want or trying to force something. You're trying to get the best fit for them. Make it all about them and you'll be blessed.
You will be blessed, John. And talking about, let's talk about music for a little bit.
Oh, please. I love it.
You didn't think I was going to let you off the hook with that, man.
Music, my
You
church.
are a local radio, national radio icon. You've been in the business for a very long time. You've met the best of the best. What is it about music that just lights us up, that gets us going, that brings us together, that sets us apart? What is it about music that brings us closer to that life of freedom that we all desire?
Joy, memories, creating new memories. I mean, I just love, my wife and I love everything. People say, what kind of music do you like? I try to see something in everything. You have your favorites. I have a couple of genres of music, may not be my favorite, but I'll listen to everything at least once or twice, whatever. But being in the DJ business and being able to go out there and provide a living, by bringing people up and bringing them together, especially in a world nowadays where there's so many challenges. For 4 or 5 or 6 hours at a wedding reception or a party, everything out in the outside world doesn't exist. The music brings us together. And you just see the joy. When I'm watching people from my vantage point on the dance floor, everybody has a different body language, but their face and the joy. And when you play a song that was a big hit from maybe their high school years, and all of a sudden they go like this, and then you look at each other, and it seems like that couple, when you play that slow song like a Faithfully by Journey or something like that, or Always and Forever, and they see it and it's like, wow. And it's like they're 18 years old again. They're at their wedding reception. You're bringing back so many great memories, and you're creating new memories with the new songs you're playing now. Because I like everything. I like today's music. I love the classics. My wife and I love show tunes, reggae, rock, country, rhythm and blues, hip hop. I just love it all. And to me, there's 2 types of music. It's either good or maybe it's not your style. But why put something like, I only like country, I only like rock? You want to eat one type of food every night of the week? You want that variety to sample it all. So music brings us together. It's the common language, and we love it all.
What are some of your favorites, John? I'm going to put you on the spot. When you're just relaxing, you and Patty, and just having a nice, relaxing day, what are some of those artists that really do it for you?
Well, I mean, we listen to a lot of classical music. I'm really a big fan of Baroque, music, because of the clavichord and the horns, and that's when the trumpets and things came out in that era, Renaissance music. But we love a lot of smooth jazz too, because that's really easy to listen to. We're working around the house. It's kind of like, modern day. I don't like to use the term wallpaper, but it doesn't really get in the way, So when we're waking up in the morning, first thing, having our coffee after we do our gratitude exercises and get ready to take on the day, and the music's always playing in the background. But smooth jazz and classical are our favorites in the morning. And then during the course of the day, like today, I had my 80s file on. So we had some Cars and Phil Collins and some Go-Go's and, some Crowded House and Don Henley in the background. Then other days we might have classic country. Then other days we'll play some Duke Ellington and Miles Davis. Then I'll play some Bob Marley and the reggae file, some 90s stuff, which I love, Matchbox 20, Hootie and the Blowfish, Smash Mouth. And I like a lot of today's music. Ed Sheeran, Shawn Mendes, and, Khalid. I like a lot of Latin music, and I'm a big fan of that. So I like everything. I'm just a music freak. It's just flowing in my veins.
What do you like to listen to when you're working out? You listen to, what do you put on the
whatever they have it on the gym, because
Yeah.
I don't wear the earbuds or anything else because I want to have conversations with people. But whatever they have on, it could be, it can be Pantera or Metallica. Or it could be, it could be the Bee Gees, Earth, Wind and Fire. It could be, Katy Perry or Pink or Kelly Clarkson, or Gwen Stefani, whatever's on, I'm into it. I listen to everything.
The gym does have an eclectic mix.
Oh yeah.
And
I hear a lot of my peers, they think they're going to get like an agreement with me when they come over. A lot of folks in my age group, God, today's music, it just, you know, how guys say that all the time. It's just not like the old stuff. That was so good. They're not making any new music anymore that's any good. And I'll just say, there's a lot of great new music out there. You just have to really be open to it. I mean, look at the talent on American Idol and The Voice. And there's a lot of great talented people. Look at YouTube, even TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they are really creative. But a lot of these young people are really into the music we grew up with, you know, the 70s, 80s, 90s stuff. They love it. They're making it new to a whole new generation. So when I'm DJing weddings now, Joe, and I'm sitting down with young couples, they want to hear the new stuff, but they also want to hear, you know, the stuff that we grew up with. They want to hear all that great stuff from Michael Jackson, you know, play that funky music, Earth, Wind and Fire, You Can't Touch This by Hammer, Ice Ice Baby, you know, and all those songs are big, you know, and This Is How We Do It. You know, all these songs are so big with the kids because, you know, TikTok, these movie soundtracks, Guardians of the Galaxy, these TV shows that are bringing back all the classic songs. You know, Stranger Things on Netflix right now. They're bringing back a lot of the classic songs. So it's really amazing.
It brings us, you're right, it brings us back to that time. And, you know, as you're watching an episode of a TV show that's curated this music, it just locks you into a time and a place and a feeling and a memory.
Right.
And I believe that's why it's so important to create that life that you want to live and create those feelings and those moments, because the more of those that you have, those seemingly simple moments, the waking up in the morning, the making coffee or making breakfast or just gardening, doing that stuff around the house, and you listen to that music, it uplifts you and it blesses you and it gets you in that feeling that carries you throughout the day. And you're an unstoppable force at that point.
It sets the whole tone. I mean, it gets like all those good feeling chemicals, the serotonin, dopamine, you know, we were talking about before, the adrenaline and all those good feeling chemicals throughout the day. And I like to be able to get up, you know, Patty and I kind of map our own schedule now. And we do that. We get up, have a great cup of coffee, which is so important. And I love to get out there and go out there and work in the garden, you know, water it. And I have a cup of coffee in one hand, the nozzle in another. And I'm just thanking God for all my blessings. The entire time I'm out there, I'm thanking him for everything. Thanking him for where we live. You know, thanking him for our house, our home, our cars. Thanking him for each other. Thanking us for our health. You know, thanking for his provision of safety. You know, and be able to provide us for everything. The ability to be able to go out there and help people when they need it. You know, and just be able to share what we have with others. Just thanking him for everything. Because gratitude opens up a lot more. You know, he's not going to trust you with more if he can't trust you with little. And he's the God of magnification. He can magnify what you've got, but he has to be able to trust you. And you have to earn that each and every day.
And as John, you know, the thread that runs through this whole interview is how gratitude connects with freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that when you are grateful for those little things,
mm-hmm.
the air in your lungs, the blood pumping through your veins, that cup of coffee in the morning, just the fresh air. And I always say that too. It's if you can't appreciate these little things, you'll never get the big things. The big things will pass you by.
Oh, they will.
You won't. They won't even phase you.
Right.
If you can't take care of those little things, man. I just love that this interview went there with how gratitude and freedom just intersect.
Oh, they really do. They really do. And we were thinking about that last night, sitting on the back deck after it was pretty hot yesterday. And then all of a sudden, the cool air came in. We had that nice breeze, and Patty made an amazing dinner. She's the Iron Chef. You know, had the grill going, and we're sitting there looking at each other and saying, "Babe, you know, we got it really good here. We really got it. Is our life perfect? No, far from it. But we're not, you know. But we're just thrilled with what we do have. And you're right, the little things. And you can have all the material things, and I think that's great. You've earned it. You work for it. Go for it. Absolutely. You're showcasing God's abundance. But a lot of those people that do have those things are able to share it with other people too, which is great. But we're just able to look at the little things, you know, and when we get a chance to go away on our little mini excursions and vacations, those are the things we look forward to, because those are experiences that you can talk about and take with you forever. And when you're having those times on the back deck, enjoying it and the breeze going through, remember that time we took that trip to here and here? Remember that trip to here and here? It's like, wow. And it just brings you together, and you want to go out there and do it again. You know, because this is not a dress rehearsal. this life we have right now. I mean, I know our best days are ahead of us. I know we're headed to paradise at some point, but while we're here, let's just enjoy every single moment the best we can, even with the challenges, which we all are going to have. Nobody's exempt from challenges. When you're a believer, that doesn't mean you get a free ride. You know, God
No,
never promised us a free ride, but he did promise us that we would have the grace to be able to handle anything that comes our way.
John, when you are talking about mind, body, and spirit, and you talked about the three-legged stool, and we've talked about the spirit, we've talked about the mind, and I just want to go a little bit more into the body and fitness and
Sure.
your wellness business. We touched on it a little bit, but I kind of want to go back to it because I believe that that's such an another important gift that you have to offer people. Um, First of all, I want you to brag on yourself a little bit. You've been a competitor in the professional bodybuilding for a long time. Could you tell us more about that and set up a little bit of the background for this?
Okay, so basically, I mean, not professional, but an amateur bodybuilder. I've done this, you know, because it's fun. You know, it's something I've always enjoyed doing, and not so much for the trophies or whatever. Your body's your trophy, you know, and you just take care of it the best way you can. But I've always loved to be to go out there and kind of lead by example. You know, especially as we get older. So many people say, "Oh, I'm so old, and things are happening right now." And no, you don't have. You're already speaking negatively. You know, speak faith. You know, speak positively. You know, and so I love to. Ever since I was a kid and playing football and basketball and wrestling and all baseball. I played like every sport in high school and junior high school, and was actually scouted by the Red Sox. You know, as a pitcher. You know, all state in football, you know, back in the day when the shoreline of wrestling. So I always did really well in sports. And then in my junior year, I gave up sports and got involved in other aspects of my life. That's another story, but I got involved in, you know, theater, did a lot of theater and music. I wanted to explore other parts of my life rather than just be pigeonholed as a jock. But always, you know, working out was always a big part of my life because I believed, and my dad was really big on that too, being a Navy man, you know, take care of the body, take care of the body. And you know, and all these years later, I'm still going to the gym. I've been at the gym seriously since I was 30. And that's when I really started hitting the gym. I did my first bodybuilding show at 30, finished in the top 3. And then I've done several shows. And the last shows I did were 2016, 17, 18. I won the New England all 3 years for masters competition, you know, 50 plus. And then when I hit 60, I won again. And I finished in the top 5, 40 plus at 60 years old. That I was more proud of that than any other because I'm keeping, you know, these kids 20, 25 years younger, whatever it may be, and I'm finishing in the money with that, so to speak. And it just makes you feel really good that you can go out there and just show what can happen. You know, don't wait for inspiration, be the inspiration, right? And it's just been a blast, and I'll probably end up doing another show next year. But with the shows we do there, Joe, you look more like a gymnast than a bodybuilder. You know, because it's the strictest tested show: blood test, urine test, polygraph, and I've been lifetime natural, and I'm very, very proud of that. And you could tell the difference when you see us natural guys and the guys who are doing some of the other things. And there's nothing against those guys; that's their choice. They still look great. They choose to go a different route, but I just want to keep it as you know, natural based as I can. I'll eat properly. I use a lot of our plant-based supplements, which I'm all over. But that's about it.
As people are looking to start somewhere, you know, you have to start somewhere. So if they're
Mm.
watching today and they say, you know, I want to work on these 3 legs. I want to work on the mind. I want to work on the body. I want to work on the spirit. You'd mentioned gratitude. You'd
Mm.
mentioned, you know, those daily rituals, shutting the news off, staying off social media if you're gonna just go on to be offended or be ready to just fire off at somebody. Going to the gym, these little daily practices, give us some more of those daily practices that you believe in that will get somebody from the couch or from that
Mm.
place of, you know, I don't know if I could be like John. I don't know if I could be like I don't know if I could do this, or I don't know, you know, they just have that negative self-talk running through their head.
Mm.
And they want to, you know, break those chains that are binding them and
Yeah.
break that negative self-talk and those patterns. What are some more things they can do? Some actionable tips you could give them, John?
And that's a tough thing to do because 75% of what comes into your mind is negative. I feel like I feel like a tennis player half the time. Right? Coming in, I'm just volleying. Each and every negative thought with something positive, replacing it with a positive. And the whole key is to look at yourself from a spiritual standpoint. See yourself the way God sees you, and not the way people see you. God doesn't make mistakes. You're a masterpiece. Every one of us is a masterpiece. Every one of us is approved. Everyone is anointed. And again, if you don't believe in God, whatever, I respect where you're coming from, but I'm not afraid to mention my faith. Call it whatever it is. There was a guy today at the gym, or a few days ago, said, "John, I'm not really sure if I believe in God." And I said, "That's okay. He believes in you." And he liked that. He said, "Wow, I kind of like that, But the thing is, I keep him first place. Patty and I always do. But at the same time, if that's not where you want to go, motivational. Get some motivational books. Motivational sayings. There's plenty that you can find on Google. And go out there and repeat some positive affirmations each and every day. That's a good way to start. But be on your own side. Don't be against you. Like I mentioned earlier, the world is against you anyway. So just get up and make a decision rather than speaking negative, negative, negative. Get up there and do something good. Compliment your wife for the first time. Compliment your kids. Do something. That's a start. Give yourself a pat. I did something good. Focus on the little things you're doing. Get out and maybe cut the lawn or clean the basement like you promised to do over the past 10 years. You're finally getting out there and do it. Just do these little things. Work yourself to the gym maybe. It's tough for a lot. And if you're not a gym person, get out there and just walk. You can do plenty of exercises at home. Get up off the couch. When the TV's playing, get up there and just stretch and do some isometrics. Get some of the TRX bands, whatever it may be, or some light weights or canned food, and just do some bicep, whatever. There's always something you can do. I always say there's either excuses or results, but give yourself credit. Don't expect to change overnight. One of my favorite sayings is inch by inch, it's a cinch. Yard by yard, it's hard. So go little by little each and every day. Don't try to get it all back at once, and celebrate little victories along the way. Give yourself some slack. You're doing okay, and I think that's so important to do that. But that's where you can do it. And also, before you go to bed at night or first thing in the morning, don't look at the news because the news will depress you. It's their job just to scare the TBGBs out of you for ratings or whatever it may be. So be aware of what's going on in the world. Check in. You still have to be aware of what's going on out there, but don't let it rule your life. I'm more concerned about what's going on in my house and what's going on in the White House. So I know a lot of that affects it, but I'm going to go out there and live my life and say, Father, I'm going to do my best, and I'm depending on you to take care of the rest. It's in your hands. Your government supersedes the government down here, and I trust you. So it's all about trust, even when you don't understand. Father, I don't understand what's going on down here. I don't get it. It doesn't seem fair. You see all these, these kids and teachers who lost their lives in Texas. What happened? I said, Father, I don't get it. And you can understand why some people might say, well, okay, well, if there's God, how come he allowed that to happen? I don't believe God allows any of that to happen. But nevertheless, I'll just say, listen, I don't understand. I just put that in the I don't understand file in my brain. And I move on with my life. I don't get it. But, when people say that, I say, I get where you're coming from. I get it. But I still trust, even when I don't understand. His ways are not our ways. So we just have to go out there and either, just be the best people we can be each and every day, not try to figure it out. We're not meant to figure it out with our limited, capacity. So someday the answers will be given.
John, you mentioned the words that we use. And especially being a dad and being on the field with my son, I see a lot of people that talk negatively and use that negative self-talk.
Sure.
But we've practiced in our home the positive self-talk, because just as much as you can claim a negative, you can claim a positive.
Right.
And a lot of people have faith in the negative, and it comes true. They don't realize they have faith in things not working out, or faith, not making that shot, or faith that they have the faith in the not.
Right.
It works just in reverse. We choose in our home, have faith in what's possible and go out and create it. You're a firm believer, as you said, in those positive affirmations and those positive words. What would you say to the people that say, John, that's cliche, that's a nice little cute saying. Tell me how those positive affirmations for you have gotten you from, maybe a dark time in your life and brought you into where you needed to be just by those little words every day, those little positive
Sure.
affirmations every day.
Yeah, again, having some of those affirmation, books have helped me in the past, and keeping those present, and also keeping them on the refrigerator, or keeping them on, in the bathroom, in the mirror, whatever it may be. And exactly, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. But if it's in sight, you think about those reminders about what's good. So you have to be intentional each and every, like I mentioned before, about what you do. And like Abe Lincoln said, happiness is a choice.
Yes.
And here's a guy that resided over the only war where you're pitting Americans against Americans. Can you imagine how difficult that was for our president at the time? But you just have to make those choices. And you're obviously, you and your wife are great parents. You're instilling positive and faith into your kids, even though out in the real world you really can't control what people say and do, but you can control what's going on in your home and give them the basis for their self-worth and their self-confidence. That's so important to do that. But you just got to make the decision to want to change, because we are what we think. We are what we eat. Keep eating McDonald's hamburgers, what are you going to look like,
Right.
And nothing wrong with one of those once in a while, I guess, but you got to make a decision, to make the best decision at least 80% of the time in everything you do. And just focus on what's good. Focus on gratitude. Focus on what you like about yourself. Focus on what the joy in the world, that you live in a beautiful place, or you just somebody said something nice to you. Focus on your job. Well, I hate your job, but you got a job.
Mhm.
Focus on the fact some people don't have a job. I'm not making enough money, but you're making some money right now. Keep in mind, God can't trust you with more unless he can trust you with little. And my whole thing is, even if I'm not happy where I am, and this is again, this is me, this is my deep faith. I really believe that I don't work under people. Anyway, God, my job is a resource. God is my source.
Mm.
So he's my employer.
Do it unto the Lord and not unto men.
Exactly. So, and so when I'm going to the radio station or something, and there may be something I don't want to do, and I keep thinking, oh, I don't feel like doing this, but then I say, okay, Father, but I'm working under you. You see what's going on here. Or if the boss is being a little bit ornery at times, or being a bit, I'm not working under him. I'm working under God. So like you said, we just have to, he's our employer. So when you do that, still, do I screw up all the time? Do I whine sometimes? Absolutely. But then I correct myself. I correct, and it's like a reflex. It's like with the martial arts. I did some of the martial arts in the past. It's a reflex. For every time they do something, I do something in return. And the more you practice that, the better you get at it. So I'm really good at volleying out the negative and replacing it with a positive and realizing it. But it takes time. Not going to happen overnight. And you're going to fall back. You're going to slip. Then you're going to beat yourself up. And you're going to have that voice in your head saying, oh, who are you? You're a hypocrite. God doesn't love you. You did that. You did this sin. Or you said this stupid thing. You gossiped about things. Just say, okay, that may be true, but I'm already approved. He loves me. I'm not perfect, but my motive and intent each and every day is to get closer to him and become a better person. If God was expecting a perfect performance, none of us would have a chance of salvation. Zero. He's looking at our motive and intent. Are we trying to be good people, good to other people? That's what he sees.
And what I love what you said, and I want to come back to it, is, yeah, it might come in here, we might think it, but until we speak it,
Mm-hmm.
if we speak it, then it can go down here, and then we believe it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's a great point.
We just shut that off here,
Mm-hmm.
and don't talk about it. Don't
Right.
say that negative. That you're tempted to complain, or you're tempted
Sure.
to talk badly about somebody, and nobody's perfect. Like you said, it happens.
Far from it.
But then that it never has a chance to become that movie that we play and play and play in our head, so that when that negative movie finally manifests itself, we're like, see, I told you it was going to happen.
Right. Yeah. You got that loop going around in your head sometimes, but you look at it this way. When the negative, think about your channels on your TV. And if you don't like a certain movie or show, what do? You change it. Do the same thing with your negative thoughts. Just change it. Move on to the next channel and replace it with a positive. Again, it takes some work. It's not easy. It takes discipline. You have to be intentional about it, but you have to watch and be aware. Guard your thoughts. Guard your thoughts. They're so important. But you made a great point too. Be careful what you speak, because once you put it out there, then all of a sudden all kind of drama can swirl up, and that's when tough things can happen. Be very careful. And gossip is dangerous. I always say to people, if I talk behind somebody's back, it's always going to be good. Because when it gets back to them, and say, hey, Joe, guess what? I met with Cadillac over at the gym the other day, and he was talking about you, man. He was saying what a great guy you are, what a great dad, husband you are. Just really so blessed that he was introduced by your Uncle Tom. That's what they're gonna hear. Right. And I feel really good about that because I'm not gossiping. Gossip, it's not a good thing because, how would you feel if people were talking like you about that? And I hear people gossiping all the time. And if I do hear it, I just excuse myself, or just if I have to be in a situation, a social situation, I just kind of change the subject. I don't say anything. I'm just going to change it and talk about something positive. Just change the whole direction of the conversation.
John, the mentality, the way that you live your life, the way that you be in the world has, afforded you the freedom to, I get to do this. I get life. Tell us some of the highlights. Tell us some of the amazing people that you've met, some of the amazing experiences that you've had. Just what the fruit of who you be. Like, we see the fruit of John Cadillac Saville, and you're positive, and you're uplifting, and you're motivating. But tell us some cool stories about where this road is taking you over the years.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a ride. It has, and hopefully God has many more years left. That's up to him. But I was saying to Patty the other day too, when we were driving, said, if I passed away, if I left this earth today, don't mourn me. Celebrate, because I've had one heck of a ride. I really have. I've been able to do what I love to do in the radio broadcasting business, for the past 40 years. Can you believe that? And I've worked at some of the best stations in the state of Connecticut. Worked in New York City. I worked at a R&B station. I was the only white guy there, and I loved it because I've never seen color, and they accepted me because it was all about the music, and I loved the music as much as they did, and we just ended up being the best of friends, and I loved it. But I remember one time working at a hip hop station, working at an easy listening station, working at when I was a PLR at the time with a rock and roll station, and working at a country station at the time, all at the same time, and college radio, and I was in my glory. Just having fun. But met so many entertainers over the year in all different genres of music. I mean, the majority of them have been country, because I've been in country probably the longest. But I've worked in virtually every format imaginable. And it's just been a joy to be able to go there. And there's just something magical about getting in front of the microphone, whether it's live or whether I'm recording or voice tracking, which is most of it nowadays. But just to be able to play that music and share it with an audience and make a friend. And make that connection. Everything's about relationship. And then even people just periodically come up, hey, I heard your show, and I love that comment you made about when you and your wife did this, or that movie you went to see, or heard you talking about Top Gun. I heard you talking about your wife cooking out on the back deck. And you're just like them, because I am. You want to be that person. You want to be yourself. But when people meet me, they'll say, you're exactly the same way off the air as you are on the air. Because I'm not putting in any shtick. I'm just being who I am each and every time. But, the people I've met, just people that are all different genres, not necessarily stars, but I've been able to be introduced to so many people in the community events, teachers, firefighters, police officers. I MC a ton of events. I get asked all the time to do a lot of nonprofits. And those are probably more impressive to me than meeting the stars themselves. Because these people under the radar that are working their tails off. And all I do is show up and do what I do, and I talk. But they set everything up for me behind the scenes. And to be able to give them shout outs so people know who they are, it just gives me such joy. But those are the people I'm most impressed with, the people that are the worker bees, the people that are behind the scenes that make my job a whole lot easier. But the entertainers have been wonderful. I think just about every one of them I met has just been off the charts, nice, congenial, and just good people. But I think people also respond by the way you respond to them. If you go up there with a handshake and a big smile and a compliment, people are going to respond in kind. They want to be around you.
John Saville, one of the kindest guys I know, and I'll do a little humble bragging for my friend. You know, you've won so many community awards, and you're always in the middle of helping other people, and it's just such a testament to who you are, and being recognized for that and having these honors is just it just that's just who you are, who you be, and what you just said, and that the whole interview throughout this whole thing. We had lunch, a month or so ago, and that's just who John is, guys. And this is a great way to be. So follow John, see what he's putting out in the world. And if you just take one thing away from this interview today, I hope that you take away about the gratitude and just that way of being that you have, John. And I hope that impresses upon so many people to just tomorrow morning or right after you listen to this interview, just think about you're listening to it on an internet connection, on a device. Just the internet of that is amazing. You didn't have that. We didn't have that 20 years ago. We didn't have that 10 years ago. You could just jump on and have this device that you could have all the information in the world and all the positive energy. And if you're having a bad day, or if you're having just something going wrong, you could turn, like you said, John, you could just turn that thing right on. Come listen to John Cadillac Saville on the airwaves, or turn on the Freedom Hour, or sign on to the Wake Up with Giants Network, and you'll have some positive people spreading positive messages that want to uplift and bless you. So
just be, like I say to people all the time, just be a good human. Just go out there and be good to people, and look for opportunities every day to be good to people. Even like I love to use Facebook Messenger a lot. And I love to reach out to people and leave them a voice message when it's their birthday or an anniversary or something really amazing. Their kid just graduated from school, or they hit a home run in a little league. And I do that each and every day, and I'll just leave them a message. Hey, Joe, congratulations. I heard your son hit a home run last night. You must be so proud. Congratulations. And you just have an amazing day. Little things like that. A lot of the time people tell me they save the messages. And they'll listen back to them when they're having a really tough day. If I see that somebody is battling an illness, they've lost a loved one, I'll leave them a message right away and just quote something that's individual to them, something they can understand based on our relationship. And people really appreciate that, just to know that somebody cared enough to reach out to them.
And I am the recipient of many of those messages, John. And I just love you for that, because it just uplifts me and makes my day. And I save those messages too. And some days where I'm having a challenging time, or I need that reminder to be that person that will do the outreach to other people and congratulate and uplift them. So you are that for me, my friend. So that's our Freedom Hour this week.
Wow, that flew by. That
flew by. But I really want people to be able to connect with you and support what you do. Where can they find you, John?
Just find me on Instagram at Caddy Saville, CADDYSAVILLE. Facebook, the typical places, and feel free to friend me up. I'll definitely accept, because any friend of yours, Joe, and anybody watching the show is a friend of mine, so your family. And obviously the people that are watching this are like-minded, and we appreciate that. And if we made a difference in, like you said before, even one person's life today with something, maybe we said something. Exactly. And I've always believed that God puts the right people in your path at the right time and the right message. Maybe we're able to help one person. We've accomplished our goal.
Just that one person, John.
Yeah.
I just believe in that. Thank you so much today for being on the Freedom Hour. We'll be back next week, live Wednesday. We'll have Carl Messina.
I love Carl Messina. I love him. We spent a day together up in his Riverton, Connecticut. He's an amazing guy. You're going to love him.
Thank you, John. And a reminder to subscribe to the Wake Up with Giants TV network. Amazing, amazing shows that they have on here. And again, people that just want to uplift you, enrich your life, and help you to that life that you always dreamed of. So thanks again, John.
Thank you, Joe. Lots of love to you and your family, pal.
You too, my brother.